Hi everyone, this is Leah Granger and you're watching Curtain Call, a Instagram live interview series with powerful women in the arts. Curtain Call is presented by FabCollab, as you probably know already. FabCollab is an arts organization in Toronto presenting singers, dancers, all different kinds of artists in concerts and online, live and online in Toronto and internationally through the power of live streaming. And on this interview series, we speak with women around the world, a lot in Toronto, but in other places as well, about their careers, about what they're up to, about how they got where they are, the struggles they've faced along the way. And hi, there she is. I just see that today's interview guest has just popped online. She's an incredibly talented musician. She's a singer. She rocks out super hard. I've been watching a lot of her videos, checking out all of her music in the past couple months, and it's incredible, the power of her performances. And we're gonna have her joining us here. I'm just gonna invite her to join, if I can. Let's see. SATE, if you can, I'm not sure if you can ask to join because I'm having a little trouble inviting you. It's not, I'm clicking on the button and I'm not able to, nothing happens. Let me know. Hi, people. Hi, everybody. Our guest today is SATE, and we're just having a little technical difficulty. Here we go. That's it. Perfect. So she'll be with us in, I would say, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm going to turn off this light. I don't need it. It's daytime.
It's daytime. I know. I always just sit in front of a window. I find that works best. I don't have a ring light or anything, and it's like, I think natural light is the best.
It is. It's beautiful. It's a little moody in here, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it looks good. It looks good. Thank you so much for joining us. Honestly, it's like a real honor. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank
I'm
you
like
for
trying to
having
coordinate
me.
it for the past few months, and I'm like, yes, it's finally happening.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your time. Well, we just want to like hear about your career and just about your journey to where you are today. So I don't know. I mean, your childhood sounds like it was very interesting and very musical. I mean, you come from a famously musical family, and a lot of the women that we talk to do. It was kind of there from the beginning. So maybe you could tell us a little bit just about your youth and if there were any times, particular moments in your youth that really like felt formative for you as an artist.
Oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, I come from a very musical, creative family. A lot of singers in the family, a lot of like actors, poets, just creators. So, I mean, my mom was always singing,
Mhm.
performing everywhere in theater, in clubs, on TV. So a lot of those experiences really formed just I I loved to be around there. That was what I loved doing. Just
As a,
taking it
as a
all
young
in.
as a young person, were you like, hanging out backstage and sort
Yes.
of, man, that's so cool.
Yes, yes, all the time. She took us everywhere. She took all of us everywhere. Both my parents. Whenever there were concerts in town, like
Mhm.
Key, you know, uh, as a baby, I have a picture of myself being held by Tony Bennett. So like any concerts, there's pictures of my sister being held by Diana Ross and the Supremes, just any concerts that were in town. we were there, we were supporting. And late nights, like clubs. So she was bringing her kids, like 5 years old, 4 years old, 8 years old, to like a nightclub,
Yeah.
because that was just what they wanted us to see. They wanted us to experience the music and like, take it in, really know it. So I got to experience a lot, and just being around while she was creating
Mhm.
music, sitting at the piano, everything was formative for me. I was just watching. I was the type of child that was observing. I was just watching,
You're just soaking it all up.
soaking it all up. And then Fame. Like, for me, a big thing was Fame. Watching Fame on television. And when I told my mom I want to go to a school like that, then she found me a school and put me in it. I want to dance. She put me in it. Whatever I said I wanted to do, she was like, okay, here,
To happen.
yeah.
So it was always like there was never like you didn't have your you know, phase where you went to school for like urban planning or anything.
No, no,
There was
actually,
none of that.
no, no.
I feel like a lot of people have that phase. Like I feel like a lot of artists are like, but I should this. But I guess like when you come and like where you have this like example of just sort of like a very like, successful kind of like life that you want to
Yeah,
emulate.
it's all I saw,
Mhm.
between my mother, my aunt, and my uncle, as they were in a group together called Andy and the Bay Sisters. So that was, I'd put on their records, you
Yeah.
know um and my cousins would be in plays and on Broadway, and just that was what I saw. So I didn't have any other desire to do anything else.
Yeah, it's amazing to have that clarity, like as a young person.
Yeah. Yeah,
Did you?
and the support too,
Yeah.
the support to do that, especially the arts, because I hear from so many friends that
Mhm.
it just wasn't like that.
Yeah, where like they had to like break out of something to sort of start doing it.
No, I was very fortunate. Very, very, very fortunate.
And then like how did you find your way? Because like yes, you were around all of these performers, but sort of your music is very different in a lot of ways. I mean, I'm like there's roots there, but you've really also gone your own way. So how did you find your
Mm,
way to this punk and rock sensibility?
I mean, I move towards what moves me,
Mhm.
and raw music, just I, that's what I can say. I move towards what moves me, and it's not that
Yeah.
blues and jazz, but as you said, blues is the foundation of all musics for me.
Mhm.
Actually, it is. Period. It is the foundation of popular music. It's the foundation of rock and R&B, soul. Pop. It is the foundation. So to move more into a grittier version of what my mom was doing, really, it's not that she really liked all kinds of music, singing all kinds of music, even though people call her the first lady of blues in Canada. Um, Again, blues is the foundation, right? So she was singing things like Little Richard and the Beatles, and all of that stuff, because that informed what moved her. So I guess I just moved into something that would express what really grabs me, what really makes me just I the freer I can get on stage, the freer I can. That's it's just Yeah.
Did it take a while to get there, or did you kind of come out of the gate sort of pursuing that kind of music, or was it like,
No,
did you
no, it
try
took me
different
it took me
things?
a while.
Mhm.
It's not, you know this is where I am right now, but it's not that I don't express myself. Music is a funny thing. Genre is a funny thing to me.
Mhm.
And like boxing it in, I understand the need to to give it description for people to understand what's going on. But really, no one person just listens to rock music or just classical music or just they listen to what moves them, and people create what moves them, and it is like it crosses like as a rock artist, you're as a rock artist for me, you're going to hear my influences, you're going to hear the things that have formed me. You're going to hear jazz, you're going to hear soul, you're going to hear funk, you're going to hear pop, you're going to hear punk, you're going to hear all of those things. But how I express rock is this way.
Yeah.
How Sum 41 expresses rock is that way, because that's how it informed them. That's what their experience is. My experience is totally different. So yes, it took me a while to get there, but I was always there.
Yeah. It was always, you were always you.
Yeah.
Genre is such a tricky thing because like we
Tricky,
talked
it's
to
fucked up, it's stupid.
yeah, I was like it's tricky
Yeah.
because like yeah, we talked to a lot of world like global musicians and
Yeah.
like practice. Myself and the other host are both work like within flamenco, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it isn't, and just like being labeled like the global label is just like kind of sucks because it's like music. It's just like
Yeah,
music is like
and I get acknowledging and giving credit to the root of things. Like,
yeah,
yes, let's talk about the root of things, where it came from, where what you're listening to, what region, all of those things. Those are so much more interesting to me than like genre. Like,
mhm.
tell me where you're from, you
Yeah,
know?
totally. Especially when you're practicing like yeah, when you come from like so many things, it's like being pigeonholed
Yeah,
is tricky.
yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about your name and like
My
what it
name is
means to
Sate.
you and sort of like yes, and
Well,
like
sate
what is
actually
that?
means, yeah, so sate actually means to satisfy to the fullest. So satiate, satisfy, and it's not satay. There's no
Yeah.
accent. I get it a lot. And I'm like, no, it's pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. Um, yeah, I made that transition in, I guess, to 2011. And
Hmm.
it was an evolution. It was an evolution going deeper into almost my mission statement, my vision. Um, just, because my name is Saida, and Saida means happy and fortunate. So to move into to satisfy is just a deeper
Yeah.
um, quest for happiness and fortune, you know. Um, but when I landed on Sate, it just felt like someone called me Sate, and I actually answered to it, and I said, that is my name. So it's not that it's not that I'm not Saida.
Yeah.
Actually, I can take an acronym. There was an acronym that one of my friends said, because she was trying to shift into, she's like calling me Sate. And she said, oh, there's an acronym for it. And that's Saida at the Essence, SATE. So I'm still there, but I'm Sate. And I'm Sate on stage and off stage. And that's it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering also. I was like,
Yes.
that's amazing. That's beautiful. Can you tell me a little bit just about like your creative process? Like how you write, how you just like how you get into that place as a performer and to create new work?
performing and creating are different.
Mhm.
Creating is to be open, to be the vessel, you know. Putting yourself there, put like I'm in my studio right now, so I've got an upright piano and my studio where I record. I do a lot of playing on the piano. I'll be walking down the street, a melody will come to me. I'll put it in my voice notes. Um, I'll sit down at the piano and just play a few notes, and something will come, something fun. I have got so many different ways of just like getting the juices flowing. And not all of them are great, but they don't have to be. It just, and I have to remind myself they don't all have to be great. Um, they just have to come out. I
Mhm.
get stuck sometimes in the they all have to be great, so I don't do anything. Um, so I go through. I think springtime is a really good time for me to just go into my studio every day and just touch the piano, just touch the
Well, you must
piano.
be. Today is a good day.
Today is a
I was like,
beautiful day.
when I sat
Yeah,
down here, because like outside my window, it's a tree, and like all of the buds are opening like right now.
yeah,
I was like, how am I gonna work
yeah.
this in an interview? Yeah.
Yeah. And then when it comes to performing, it's like that's that's just I love being on stage. I really do. I love that conversation exchange with my band and the band with the audience and the audience, like that whole magic exchange that like
Mhm.
it's like a infinity. It just comes and goes. It's a give and take. It's so beautiful, and so much magic happens because it's always different because there's different energies in the room. You know, we
Mhm.
could be giving the same song, but someone reacts differently in the audience, and it creates a ripple effect. You know.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you is like how does the audience, because I feel like some performers are like, I do what I do, and it
Yeah.
isn't like, and it's like that doesn't matter. It's like I'm having an experience, and I think others are just like it's really like you're talking about an exchange. So like
Yeah,
it
it's
kind of does
really
matter who's
spiritual.
there.
It's real
Mhm.
like I I mean, yeah, no, I like conversation. So
Mhm.
I can't kind of just put on the show, shut people out and be like, "Here, take it."
Yeah,
You're not there. Like yeah, it's that's strange. That's strange to me. Um
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Do you have any like rituals or anything like that? Like before performance, at like during, after, are there any sort of like practices
Uh
that you have?
yeah, I mean, I like to grab hands with my band before going on and just checking in, pumping each
Mhm.
other up, just looking in each other's eyes, just allowing that kind of, I guess, prayer, communion coming together.
Mhm.
Um, and I always like to burn something, um, Palo Santo or some sort of incense, frankincense, myrrh, something like that. Bring it on stage in my little cauldron,
Mhm.
and just clear space, clear energy. Um, just open it up, yeah,
And then like rock super hard.
and then rock super fucking hard. Yes, sweaty quits. All
Are there like any like super memorable performance experiences that you've had? Like, I know you've
oh my
toured in
god,
Europe a lot, you've been
yeah,
in Africa, all over the world.
yeah.
Are there any real like standout sort of like crowds or venues or anything that were just like really powerful for you?
Powerful. My favorite is just going to France.
Oh,
France has
really?
been really, really. beautiful to me, like big rooms, small rooms, stadium, like outdoors. Uh, we did Switzerland. I always talk about this because it was like, I think it was one of the biggest that I've played.
Mhm.
Switzerland, the Paleo Festival. And I just looked out and there were like 30, 40, 50,000 people. And I was like, this is crazy. My face was on the jumbotron and everything. I
Yeah,
was
that's
like,
so
oh my
cool.
God. And it was and and most of the times going on stage, there are a lot of people that don't know who I am. So
Mhm.
I'm really introducing myself. So it is that being aware of that and just coming out and going and doing what we do, delivering and watching the crowd watch me and then like just get in. So it's all of that to be able to witness that, to be able to witness then coming off stage and being like, whoa, that was, I didn't know what to expect. That was amazing. I get that a lot,
Really?
which is
That's great.
beautiful, and then it becomes a lifelong relationship.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That I mean, I've always, whenever I'm at a show like that, like of that size, I just am like, I can't imagine what that feels like to be like the
Well,
one
after,
giving.
yeah, after that, uh, Red Hot Chili Peppers was headlining that day at the festival.
Mhm.
So went to that and watched them backstage and looking out at the crowd, there was a good 100, 200,000 people, if not more. And I was like, there's no way, like for me, no, I'm not going to be in the audience there. That's like, that's a lot of people. I got to go
Yeah.
pee. And when I gotta go pee, I gotta go pee like now. And I'm like, how am I gonna get there? It's just no. Mm-mm.
You're like, that's crazy. We got to draw the
Yeah,
line somewhere. You're
yeah,
drawing
no.
it there.
You gotta, yeah, yeah,
That feels fair. That feels fair.
yeah.
Um, can you tell us, you released your sophomore album in last November, right?
Mm-hmm,
In
mm-hmm,
November, The Fool. And
mm-hmm.
I love the name. I read about like what, yeah, like about what that the thinking behind that, because you might like assume it means one thing, but it's really. Anyways, I shouldn't just tell you. Tell us
It's a
what inspired that and
reclamation.
what. Mhm.
It is a reclamation of that term. Like,
Yeah.
I am the fool, but I am not a fool. I am the fool. That's very different. The Fool is based on the tarot cards, and that specific card talks about trusting the universe, taking the leap into the void, um, creation, beginnings, just being called a fool, but still going forward and
Mhm.
trusting that communication with God, universe, inside, outside, all of the things that speak to you, that say, like, all of the inspirations. That's what the Fool is about. So it's my fool's journey, and in the tarot there are 78 cards. 22 of them are the major arcana. 56
Mhm.
are the minor arcana. Minor arcana are like almost like the playing deck. There's hearts and, well, it's cups and swords and
Yeah.
wands and coins, right? Which is kind of like diamonds, clubs, spades, and what's the other one? Diamonds, clubs, spades, and
Hearts.
thank you. Yes, those are the cups. Yeah. But when you go over to the major arcana, it's really talking about more of the bigger moments, the more profound moments in your life. You're honing in on the big shifts. And I just really wanted to focus there, and go through that journey. And the Fool is like the hero that moves through the major arcana.
Yeah, I mean, what struck me about it was kind of like the idea that it's about being fearlessness,
Yeah,
fearlessness, about sort of
yeah.
like being being like unafraid to take
Mm-hmm.
risks where you
Mm-hmm.
might, you know, fall down or whatever, or where you might
Mm-hmm.
be like perceived as
Mm-hmm.
a fool.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Mm-hmm.
just like moving through that, I was like, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Especially as an artist, because it's hard to take risks and
absolutely.
to like realize your own sort of vision and
And
yeah.
I think that's it's not just as an artist, it's as a human being. We are constantly told what to do, but then something says, I want to do this, and we're called a fool. Like I have on my I was walking down. I like to collect things. I have on my piano, you know, those little children's building blocks with the letters. Like there's
Yeah.
letters on them.
Mhm.
Okay,
Like
so
very old school.
yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
I've spelled out follow your intuition. So
Nice.
I always see it. Um, and I think that we're on one hand told to follow our intuition, on the other hand told to play by the rules or follow the rules. But our intuition is so strong and it's so right for each one of us individually. You know, it's so right. It's telling us where to go. It's telling us where to not go. We get the hairs on our back, the hairs on our neck go up when something feels a little off, or the hairs on our arms go up when something's really on. You know, we're absolutely perfect that way. You know what I'm saying? So the fool is not just for an artist, it's for all of us. We're all fools on our own journey, figuring it out, falling and getting up and trusting and denying and doubting and finding our way through this entire thing called life in this human body, you know?
Would you say that the short film that you made sort of like encapsulates some of that journey?
Definitely. It
Because I
definitely
want to
does.
recommend to anybody just to if you're interested in the album is that there's a short film that has I think three
Three
songs or parts of
songs.
three songs. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Partial
That's
three
really
songs. And
beautiful and like so
thank
well
you.
produced. Like
Thank
so
you.
like because that was like another thing I wanted to ask you about because just looking at like all the different images of you, the different music videos that you've produced that film, is like your artistic sensibility, your like, I don't know if it's performance is the right word, sort of definitely goes beyond music, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's like the fashion, the makeup, like the photography. I mean, I imagine that you are art directing some of that to some degree. Like it all seems to be like an extension of yourself. And I love artists that are like that, where it's just like it's all part of it, you know? It's really
Yeah,
great.
I'm
So like
I'm
why do you
very
do that? Like why is that? Yeah, tell us about that.
I'm very intentional. I'm very
Mhm.
intentional with what, you know, where I am in the moment, you know, where I am at the time, and I actually take for granted how intentional I am when I do speak to
Mhm.
people and they say and they relay back to me what they received from, you know, the music or the concert experience or the videos or just me. And I'm like, oh shit, these are the things that I'm writing down in my journal. These are the things that I'm wishing to be, like, constantly, like, putting that out there, having that conversation with self, with God, with universe, you know, being like, I want to be, make sure that I'm intentional. Well, you are intentional, you know, like, um, so yeah, when it comes to visuals and I'm a very visual person. I'm a very hands-on person. I've had art directors, but I'm very clear as to what I
Yeah.
want to see. You know,
You have a
stylists,
vision.
I'm very clear about, like I'm really in touch with, oh yeah, that really turns me on, for lack of a better term, you know?
It's so, like, it's great. I'm like such a fan. Like,
Thank
I
you.
really like your vision. It's like cool. It's like kind of badass, but it's also like kind of like beautiful and soft in different ways. Like, it's a lot of things at once. So yeah, it's great.
And that totally reflects my Libra. I'm a Libra
Mhm.
sun, and many Libra placements in my chart. So I'm such about like the beauty and the justice and the fairness and the like that kind of thing. But then I'm a Sagittarius, so there's the fire. That's my rising. And so it's yeah. I'm very clearly me.
And I know that very recently there was a, like last week, there was a sort of important ceremony that you were a part of, and that was the unveiling of your mother's stamp, which is just so
Yes.
wild. Can you just
It's
tell us about what that experience was like?
I you know my mother transitioned in 2020, August 8th. She did a double number, 8/8/2020. I'm like, she's it's magic, like the moving through grief was I want to say it was an adventure. Um, we use the word adventure as like woo, but I mean some of it was like, and some of it was very overwhelming. And as the years go on, my mother has always been larger than life, huge. She's
Mhm.
the huge influence in my life. She's my mother first and foremost. So she's going to be a huge influence in my life. But then to come through a person who is just a fucking beast and a goddess and a queen and a change maker and a trailblazer, I'm like,
Mhm.
holy fuck, so watching her my whole life has always been huge, huge, huge. And for a little while, because she had dementia, everything got really quiet. It got quiet
Mhm.
with her, and it got quiet about her outside. So there were a lot of emotions, moving through a lot of emotions with her, not being as recognized, not being talked about, her not really talking, just different emotions. So for her passing, now the floodgates have opened, and so many people are just talking about her in big ways and doing things in really big ways that she was always that were always happening. But like things like the stamp and it's a lot. So it takes me a few days to like process and move through
Mhm.
like the overwhelm of because it used to be the filter used to be through her body. It used to come to her, and she would deal with, I don't know if she was ever overwhelmed or like, whoa, oh my god. But now it's like all of it's coming to my sister and myself, and we're like, whoa, whoo, I don't know if that explains, like, that's my process of processing her,
Yeah.
and her, all of the things that she is, all of what she is. So it's beautiful, it's overwhelming, it's surreal, it's um there's like deep gratitude. There's just,
Yeah.
and it takes me time to just like it took me a few days to really, because a stamp is a huge fucking thing. Like, she's on a stamp, like, and I have to say that to
Yeah.
myself, she's on a stamp. My mother is on a stamp. My mother is on a stamp. My mother is on a stamp. Where do I put the emphasis? And then she was on a billboard in Dundas Square for the reissue of her album. So it's
Wow.
like, it's processing all of that I do that was inspired by her and my family, and just where I'm taking it, and what is all coming to me as an individual, and then also processing all that's coming to her as an individual in this one body. And I'm like, Mom, you got to give me a moment. Like, you got to give me a moment to just process it all.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's
It's a
to put it
lot.
mildly, it's a lot to process.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, it's beautiful that happened and
It's
that she's been
so
honored in so
beautiful.
many ways.
Yeah.
Um, it's amazing to see and like so deserved.
Yeah, get your
Um,
stamps, because I see that people are just buying them up, which is so beautiful. You know, it's just, those are collectors. When you see people that you don't normally see on stamps, um, you just yeah, you just buy them up.
um, can you tell us how can people find you if they want to see you perform? Like, I imagine like that's the best. Like seeing your work online is like incredible, and like I want people to be able to find you and see that. But I also, having watched some of your performances online, I'm like, I think I need to see this woman live. So where can people follow you and just like check out your material, then also find out where you're going to be performing?
So everything, everywhere online, I am State of Sate. That's my website. That's my Twitter, Instagram. I really mostly am on Instagram. Not always on Instagram, but mostly on Instagram. Um, and my manager is dropping that May 12th, there's something in the works. So keep an eye on my Instagram, and yeah, watch the Junos on. I mean, I'm not performing on the Junos, but watch the Junos. Just cheer me on. 'Cause I appreciate all the love and support for um, just being nominated for this work that I trusted the universe with. I trusted myself with, to just step into that void.
Um, I'm just thinking, I think this is all the questions that I had prepared for you, and it's been like so wonderful to have this opportunity to chat with you and to hear about your work and your life. And thank you for being so open and so forthcoming about your process and about your music and about just the story of and your family. It's been really wonderful talking to you, and I for one am going to be following you and will be coming to your performance and will be
I'm looking
rocking out in
forward
the
to
audience.
meeting
So.
you in the flesh.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Thank you so much for your time and for visiting us here today at Curtain Call. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
And hopefully we'll be seeing you at a concert very, very soon.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much. Have a
Thanks.
wonderful spring day.
You too. Get outside.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Do that right now.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Peace.